President and colleagues, I rise to present SCR 126, Nowroz. I want to thank my staff and especially my Chief of Staff, Nowroz, for creating these sweet gift boxes that are placed for each member and other staff, as well as the partnership with the Iranian American Democrats of California for setting up the Hafseen room in room 317, which all of you are welcome to post-session. Thank you for your dedicated work to this beautiful cultural celebration. Nowroz, which directly translates to New Day, and is a cultural celebration of the first day of spring and our New Year's. It's celebrated on the vernal equinox, which varies from year to year and across the globe. In 2010, the United Nations declared March 21st as International Day of Nowroz. The new day symbolizes a commitment to springtime renewal, peace, and overall solidarity between generations, families, and communities. Nowroz commemorates the new year for many Afghan and Central Asian communities all over the world. Nowroz is celebrated by more than 300 million people around the world for more than 3,000 years in over 23 countries, including the United States, where Nowroz is celebrated by Americans of all backgrounds, regardless of religion, including those with Baha'i faith, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Zoroastrian, and non-religious backgrounds. The United States Census reports the largest populations of Afghans outside of Afghanistan to live here in California, and that 54% of Iranian immigrants in America live in California. And Nowroz serves to remind us all of the many lasting contributions of the Persian civilization to the world. We are not what is depicted in the media. We are more than that. And the noteworthy impact of Afghan Americans to the social and economic fabric of society in the United States and the world, where Afghanistan was home to the oldest oil paintings in the world, where the world's best-selling poet is Rumi from Balkh in Afghanistan, and including one of the earliest expressions of human rights in the world, the Cyrus Cylinder of Cyrus the Great, which called for the freedom of slaves, reparations, the right to choose and practice your own faith, and racial equity, as well as the contributions of Iranian Americans to the ever-growing social and economic tapestry of our country. After thousands of years in the making, Nowroz remains beloved, universal, and deeply embedded in Persian culture. It is a celebration of peace and neighborliness. These ideals we must strive and fight for. Peace is not a passive state, but an active commitment to each other, to choose a path that may require more work, more consensus building, but that yields rewards far greater than we can imagine. On this Nowroz, I look forward to a new year, a new day filled with peace. May you always be happier than Diroz, yesterday, luckier than Imroz, today, and blessed Aroz, every day. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Min, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, colleagues. As Vice Chair of the API Legislative Caucus and as a co-author of SCR 126, I'm proud to rise in support of this resolution recognizing Nowroz, or Nowroz as it's said in Farsi, the beginning of Persian New Year. Now, I want to acknowledge the terrible events that are happening right now in Iran, the death and murder of Mahsa Amini, the crackdown on women's rights, the horrible tortures, abductions, rapes, and murders of so many women and girls. This is a horrific set of events and is one that we need to continue acknowledging here in this country. I think it's appropriate in many ways that Nowroz this year falls, as every year, during Women's History Month, and we must do all we can to try to restore women's rights there. And I just want to say, women, life, freedom, or as they say in Farsi, Zendegi Azadi. This is a very, very important message that we need to reinforce here. But Nowroz is a celebration of rebirth and of peace, as my colleague mentioned, and I think it's also a time of celebration. It's a time when people from all walks of life are supposed to come together in a spirit of inclusivity, diversity, unity, prosperity, and joy. And I think that, as my colleague mentioned, California is a reflection of this wonderful diversity that we appreciate here. And so I ask that you support me in, and join me in supporting SCR 126. I also want to acknowledge several of my constituents who came up from Orange County to help celebrate Nowroz here. Several Iranian Americans. We have Faye Hazar, Alex Mohajer, and Sudi Faroknia, who came up to celebrate here. So thank you all for coming up, and Nowroz Mubarak.